This is the Jetson Haze, and it has intermittent electrical problems. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let's get the fully charged battery. Let's load it in. Okay, let's get it started. Let's just hope it turns on. All right, so it turns on. All right, let's see. Oh, it turned off. All right, so that's a problem. Someone tried to trick it to go back on again just by resetting it. And there it is, it's back on. And let's see if it moves. Yeah. All right, okay, all looks good right now, but let's see what happens when it takes some shock, okay? It tends to turn off. Whoa. Oh, so far so good. All right, so I'm gonna take it apart at the controller. I'm gonna see what is loose, because I have a feeling that something is loose. All right, let's see what we could do. Okay, let's just put it on top of this. All right. Look at how much is going on here, and based on this, I'm already thinking that it might not be controller. The controller itself has weather sealing all around it. These tubes, even in the back of these tubes, there's like silicone to prevent water ingress. A bunch here to prevent water ingress. But I am just gonna test out each one really quick. So first thing, I need to have the power going, and I'm just gonna put this on. And then I'm gonna see what is loose and what not. Here we go, there we go. And this thing is on already, the power. You see that? Okay. So the power is going, and it looks like there's no issues right now. But I know there is an issue, and it has to do with vibration. So I'm first just going to wobble all of these cables, connections. I don't know which one is the throttle. If I had to guess, it's not this, because the cable is thicker than this. And this is a charging cord, and so maybe this is the throttle right here. So I wobble it, and then there's not much you can wobble because it's sealed so well. I mean, all of these are sealed so well. I think I might just give up right here and look inside the throttle itself. Okay, so this looks good. And I'm not gonna put everything back yet, just because maybe there is something going on here. So if you follow the line of the throttle, this is it right here. You could undo this. Yeah, I'll just undo this a little bit. And first thing I'm going to check, is this connection good? So this connection's good. If I unplug it, everything. Wow, this connection is kind of loose. Actually, it's really tight though. Oh. Okay. Ooh, okay, so if I unplug it, this light blinks. This is a lot of points. So the throttle cable itself has a lot of wires. So if you're going to change the throttle, it's just going to be from here to here. You don't have to run this entire cable all the way down there. Okay, so I just got a regular screwdriver. The head is kind of small. And I'm going to turn it off because I don't want electric running until I know what's behind there. So let's see what fits here. Ooh. On the first try I got it right. The reason why I'm taking out this brake thing is just so that I can move it out of the way. See that? It reveals this little one. I didn't know why I wrapped this thing up. Now I gotta take it back out so I can unplug the throttle just to have a look at it. Alright, so I got the throttle out. I don't even know if this is the issue, but let's just see. This wire doesn't look so good, but it's not broken. It just looks like it's about to break off. Other than that, everything's glued here. I was looking for some signs of corrosion, damage, water ingress. There's a board back here, and this board powers the LCD display or the LED display, and there just wasn't anything problematic with it. Everything was nice and clean, so the throttle itself, it looks good. So this is starting to become a bit of a disaster. Okay, so if you have a throttle issue, this is what happens when your power's on and your throttle gets loose. You should get some blinky lights. It's like a diagnostics that tells you that you have a problem with your throttle. Since I'm done looking at the throttle, I could just turn this back up because that wasn't it. And now I'm going to look at the connection of the throttle cable. And it's got to be one of these two, because when I opened up the throttle, there was like 5 pins. Okay. So it is highly unlikely that this is the culprit, but let's see. Okay, so it's blinking all over the place. Just want to feel this. Okay. Honestly, they all feel really good. So that's it for this. So I got vinegar, and this one is just clean. So I'm cleaning the terminals, and I have an idea of why this thing is failing. But either way, I want to clean the terminals up. Okay, so I was writing earlier, and I figured something out. Every time I hit a bump, I would lose power. So to replicate that, I have a feeling that maybe the battery is jiggling. Theoretically, maybe I could shut it off just by some force. And I'm going to turn on the light so you can see when it shuts off, okay? Ah, there we go. Okay, so that turned it off, and so there's a couple things that's going on here. I believe it's just that this terminal is just not on super tight. There's a couple things I'm going to do right now. Let's turn off the bike. Alright. So, let's have a look at this. Alright, so let's take a look at the battery. Here's an issue with it. Okay. This is locked, and it can still move. And this is about a 1/16 of an inch that it can move. It's too much play for my liking. I mean, 1/16 of an inch is nothing. is still going to be in here, but the fact that this thing can move around, I have a problem with that. You know, I would like to move it a little bit, but you know, there's only so much you can do. It already has this lock right here. So this pin, that means that it can't really go anywhere. And at the same time, I need to get it to stop moving. I got this little sticky mat, just a little piece of rubber. So what I'm going to do is just put this here so that it stops wobbling around. And in theory, once I put it back in, it's a very slim slot, but you see, it's really tight. You see that now it doesn't jump at all. Okay, it might be tougher to get the battery out, probably, but now it's very snug. And this is at the top, so you don't have to worry about covering anything on the bottom. Just do it on the top. Ooh, satisfying. Okay, let's close it now. Okay, there's one more thing I have to do. Lock this up. And that seems normal, but there's an issue with this lock. You see, it's not going to fall apart, but I don't have that super secure feeling. And the reason for that is that this bolt right here is usually greased up. It is greased. My finger's slightly dirty now. You can turn it outward, okay? It's not going to take much, but because it comes out, it hooks onto this little latch right here. This latch is like a friction latch. You can feel it on that screw once you pull this up. So you turn it out a few times, and that should make it have a really tight fit. Okay, I'm just going to turn it twice, just like that. Now you can feel it. Okay, you just pull this up. You can feel how tight it is. That's a little bit too tight. I don't want it to be a chore to close, so I'm turning it back. Okay, pull this latch out. Okay, now I can feel that very tight pull, but it's not too tight that, you know, somebody wouldn't be able to open. See, now nice and tight. And it's not going to fall out either, okay? Because you still have the safety switch. All right, so this test is not going to be the most scientific. I'm just going to try to turn this off as much as I can. I'm going to have to take it for a ride. Be right back. At this point, I'm going to do some rough riding, and the point of it is just to see if there's still flaws in the system, if the battery gets dislodged or not. I'm of the opinion that if you have one of these quick disconnect type batteries, that there's a good chance that it can dislodge, and this is like the third e-bike that I've had it happen to. Alright, I think I fixed it. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys learned a little bit from this and how to troubleshoot and how I troubleshoot and my thought of mine. Thanks again. See you in the next one. Take care.